Hey friends, how's everybody doing? Let me pull this up closer. That's better. Sorry for the shaking, guys. I'm outside on the balcony. I'm also super disgusting because I still have on my sweaty workout clothes, so it's okay. Ignore all of everything and just focus. Oh Lord. All right, let's try to fix this a little bit. Okay, ignore everything and just focus on the word. Try to fix my little leaning table. But I just want to get on here real quick and just share something with you guys. And I don't know who this is for, but I know it's for people. So if it's for one or two people, all good with me. And you guys will probably hear dogs barking and kids and the whole nine because I'm outside, obviously. But the Lord gave me a dream, and I want to say I had this dream. Yeah, it was in the wee hours of this morning. And remember, I gave you guys a dream where the Lord was showing me a person that he was going to reconnect me to. It's a person I already know, but he's reconnecting me to this person. So he was showing me the person as an actual state, like a state in America, right? Like Georgia, Florida, like a state. He was showing me this person as a state, and he just kept saying, fly to this person, right? And I shared that with you guys, so you can go back and watch that word, and I'll try to remember to link it below. But what he was telling me is that this time it's safe to fly to this person, as in to go to this person, and it'll be a place of rest this time instead of a place of chaos, right? And again, I'll link that word below if you don't remember. But also, the Lord was showing me this state again, but this time he kept showing me the state with cities that correlate to this state. So let's just say if he was showing me Florida, he was showing me Miami and Key West and Orlando, right? Different cities within the state. So not only was he showing me the state, he started showing me different cities within this state. Now, this specific state that he was showing me as the person, I've never been to this state before. So of course, if I've never been to the state, I've never been to any of these cities. But he kept showing me, and this was in the natural, he kept showing me just different cities that are attached to this state, right? And in the wee hours of this morning, he gave me a dream. And in the dream, I was talking about the state, and I just began to mention different cities that correlate to the state. And it was the same thing, only God was showing me in the dream this time. And I knew that he was referring to this specific person. So whoever this word is for, and this is going to be kind of a two-part word, but whoever this word is for, the Lord is saying, there's a reconciliation happening, and this does not have to just be for marriage. This could be in a friendship. This could be a family member. This can be with your child. This can be with a job. This can be so many different things. It does not have to be an actual person for you, but for many of you guys, it is a person of some sort, right? But it does not just have to correlate to marriage. But he's saying with this reconciliation, this person is presenting themselves with a new state of mind, a new state of mind, a new state of heart, a new state of being. So they're not going to be the same person that you remember them as. And the cities that he was showing me that are within this state represented different aspects of this person. And again, like I said, I've never been to the state, so I've never been to the city. So the Lord is speaking loudly and saying, you're going to have to explore and learn different areas of this person, because they're not coming back as the same person that you knew before. Because how you knew them before, you knew chaos. How you knew them before, you knew double-mindedness. How you knew them before, you knew disarray. So this time, when he's telling you to fly to this person, as in it's okay to connect with them, right? It's okay to connect with them again. You're also exploring them, learning them. You're learning different aspects of them because it's a new state of mind. It's a new heart. It's a new being within this person. This is not the same person that you knew before. So don't try to compare them to how you knew them before, because this person has a new state of mind. And again, the cities that he was showing were just different aspects connected to this person, different areas of this person that you're going to have to explore the same way you would if you flew to a state. And let's just say you were going to the state of Florida and going to visit Miami, but you were also going to Orlando, and you were also going to Key West, and you've never been to any of these places. You being there for the first time, you're going to have to explore these places. Yeah, you can go by recommendations that people have given you, but you may not like the recommendations that people have given you for restaurants and certain things about these cities. So it's up to you to explore these different cities within this state and get to know them. Become familiar with these different things. You're able to establish the places within that city that you don't like and the places that you do like. Just like we as human beings, when we're getting to know someone, there's going to be things we don't like about that person. There's going to be things we love about that person. God is saying, and I pray that this is making sense, because you guys know that he speaks to me in parables, but look at this person as a state. Okay, look at them as a state, and within that state, several different cities are within a state. And in order to really go and figure out if you like a certain city in the state, you have to explore it. You have to take a journey through it, right? You have to really go try out different places within this city to know if you like it or not. So God is saying this is going to be something new. This is going to be something new for you. So don't look at anything that you've experienced with this person before, because they have a new state of mind. God is very strategic. They have a new state of mind. They have a new heart. They have a new spirit. His spirit now operates within them. They've been washed clean, so you can't bring up anything from the past. You can't look at them and connect them from anything of their past, because when we present ourselves to God and we repent for our sin, he washes those things away. He doesn't look at us as the same person. We have a clean slate. So he's saying, get to know these new areas. You're going to have to explore these new areas of this person. You're going to have to journey through the different aspects, the different characteristics, the different things about this person. And yeah, there's going to be things you like and things you don't like, but ultimately, you're supposed to be reconnected to this person. This reconciliation is divine, so it's going to happen. It's supposed to happen. And as opposed to you flying there before, catch this, as opposed to you going to that place before and it was chaotic, it was crazy, this time you won't have to come back. You won't have to come back, because you're going to find rest there. And many of you will know what I'm talking about because you caught the previous word I released about this. But again, I'll link that word in the comment section of this word as well. But God is saying you're going to have to explore and get to know this person for the new being that they are, without bringing up the old things, without bringing up the past. And there's a lot of healing that's taken place already, and a lot of healing that is taking place. And I'm going to have to do another word about that, because that's also another dream. But as I was sitting here earlier, and I'm looking down, guys, because I wrote notes in my notebook because I don't want to miss anything that I've studied. And then I also have my devotional book in front of me. But as I was reading my devotional for the day, I noticed something in Ruth chapter 3, verses 3 through 4 that I never noticed before, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. And I think a lot of us have read the book of Ruth so many times, but I've never noticed this. And I even went back to the good old KJV version because I wanted to know if it was actually in that version as well, and it is. And I never noticed it before. And of course, God will open your eyes to new things when you go and reread something, right? So I reread it, and God opened my eyes to something I never caught before. And I know sometimes we get tired of reading the book of Esther, the book of Ruth, or any book in the Bible if we've read it before, but God will always show you something different, or even things from a different perspective that you may not have caught before. But let me read this to you guys. and I'll give you what the Lord spoke to my heart about this. But I'm reading from the NIV version, and this is when Naomi is telling Ruth what to do, right? How to prepare for Boaz. And she says, wash, put on perfume, and get dressed in your best clothes. Then go down to the threshing floor, but don't let him know you are there until he has finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, note the place where he is lying. Note the place where he is lying. So she's telling she's telling Ruth to take note of where Boaz lies down at, right? To take note means to make sure you remember, make sure you're paying attention to remember where he's lying down at, right? Never noticed that before. So it prompted me to do more research and look into it on a deeper level. Now, again, it's also in the good old KJV Bible, since a lot of you are like all for KJV. And the KJV, it says, mark the place where he shall lie. Mark the place where he shall lie. So Naomi still tells Ruth, translation, take notice of where he's lying, as in remember where he's lying. Like, pay attention, because you're going to need to take note of where he's lying down, right? So that hit me today because I never paid attention to that part. So during harvest season, the harvesters would go, and they would actually spend the night on the threshing floor, because they wanted to keep look over the grain. They wanted to watch over the grain, right? They wanted to protect the grain. So the threshing floor was actually a communal place. So many harvesters would spend the night on the threshing floor. So Naomi, by her telling Ruth to take note of where he's lying, she was basically telling her to take note of where he's lying, because there's several other people that will be lying down and sleeping on the threshing floor. She wanted to make sure that Ruth went to the right man and laid at the right feet, okay? She laid at the feet of Boaz, right? She laid at his feet. Naomi wanted to make sure she was going to lie at the right man's feet. Y'all better catch this. She wanted to make sure that she was gonna lie at the right man's feet. And I'm gonna give you what the Lord gave me from this during my study, because I took notes, because I didn't want to leave nothing out, because this is gonna hit somebody. But if you go back to Ruth 2 verse 9, when Boaz is talking to Ruth and he sees her in the field, and he's telling her that he knows what type of woman she is and all of these things, right? God had highlighted Ruth, so she had the favor of God highlighting her to Boaz already, right? But as Boaz is telling her, stay here, stay in this field, don't go to any other field, stay behind the women, follow the women, he was protecting her, because her going to another field can be harmful to her. And in Ruth chapter 2 verse 9, he says, I have told the men not to lay a hand on you. So that lets us know what type of men were up here working in these types of fields. Boaz had already, God had already highlighted Ruth, right? He highlighted her to Boaz. So Boaz already had a shield of protection over her, as a husband should, as the lead, right? Even though he wasn't her husband at that time, he had already covered and protected her. And he told her, I've told the men not to lay a hand on you. So that lets you know that in these days, it was dangerous for women in these types of fields, especially an attractive woman like Ruth. So for him to tell them don't lay a hand on her lets you know that these men could get a little frisky, right? So then you go to Ruth chapter 3, and Naomi tells her, take note of where he's lying. Take note. Remember where he's lying down. And then Naomi tells her, after she tells her to take note, she says, then go and uncover his feet and lie down. He will tell you what to do. So Naomi also had a protection over Ruth. She wanted to protect Ruth. She was Ruth's divine guidance. She was a divine connection to Ruth. And she told her to take note, because she didn't want her laying at the wrong man's feet. that could be very dangerous for her. Things could end badly if she laid at the wrong man's feet. In biblical times, again, many people, many men, even some families slept at the threshing floor, but many of the workers, many of the men, this was a communal place. So Boaz wasn't the only one sleeping on the threshing floor. Again, this is why Naomi, as a divine guider, as a divine connection, as divine help, also divinely protected her. Take note of where he's lying. So that was her way of saying, you need to make sure that this is where Boaz is lying before you go lay at his feet. Make sure you know make sure you know what man's feet you're going to lie at. And you're going to know because you're going to take note as far as where he's lying, right? So in biblical times, laying at a man's feet was a humble and submissive posture. It was indicating that a woman was placing herself under that man's protection and authority. For Ruth, it was a request for Boaz to take her under his wing as her kinsman redeemer, right? Her actions demonstrated respect and honor towards Boaz and her trust in his character and willingness to fulfill his duty as her kinsman redeemer. Her gesture was a proposal of marriage, protection, and submission. What would have happened if she gave these gestures to the wrong man? What would have happened if she gave these gestures to the wrong man? If she was showing submission to the wrong man? If she was humbling herself for the wrong man? Imagine the wrong man waking up and she's lying there. Things could have went horribly wrong for Ruth. But God had already had Boaz's protection over her, and then God had divinely connected her to someone that was going to make sure that she was protected, that was going to give her every piece of information she needed to make this thing successful. God is making sure that everything you need is in alignment with his will. He's making sure that everything, every place that he leads you to is in his order, so that you are protected, so that you do not lie at the wrong man's feet, so that you do not submit to the wrong man, so that you do not give a proposal to the wrong man, so that you do not depend on the wrong man's authority. So just like Naomi told her to take note of where he's lying, God is also guiding you in this hour. God is also guiding you in this hour. So pay attention, because Satan, he's going to send his little signs also. He's going to try to talk louder than God's voice in your ear, so that you submit and lie at the wrong man's feet. But God is already going ahead of you, and he's telling you to take note of the people that he's putting in your life that are giving you divine guidance in this hour. Take note of how God is leading you, so that in this hour you are lying at the right man's feet. So that is all for this word. I pray that this word blesses somebody. It's getting dark out here. I didn't want this to be a long word. I just wanted to share the dream God gave me. And again, he's telling whoever this word is for that you're getting ready to explore different cities in this state. Translation, you're getting ready to explore this person who's coming with a different state of mind, a different state of heart, a different state of being. And the cities represents different aspects of this person that you're going to have to journey through and explore and get to know this person without bringing in the old. Because there has been a healing that has taken place, and this person is still going through a healing. But you're going to have to journey through these different areas of this person in order to get to know them again. And just the same way as if you go to a state and journey through different cities, it's exciting, it's fun, it is what you make of it. There could be frustrations that arise. There could be things that happen that you don't expect, unexpected delays in certain areas, but you still make the trip worth it. You still enjoy the trip. So things aren't going to be perfect. There may be things that arise as you're exploring the different areas of this person that he's reconnecting you to. But don't let the frustrations take you out of character. Don't let the frustrations put you in a different state of mind than what God has designed for you, than what God has planned for you. He wants this to be enjoyable for you, but Satan does not. So just pay attention to those things. But God is guiding you to make sure that you're lying at the right man's feet, that you're humbling yourself at the right man's feet, that you're being submissive to the right man, that person that's going to be your husband. So take note of the things that God is speaking to you in this hour personally. Take note of the things that he's speaking to you in this hour from others, whether that's a prophetic voice, your pastor, a close friend, whoever he's speaking to. Just take note of these things and always take it back to him, because this is going to be successful for you. As long as God is leading you, it's going to be successful. So yeah, this journey is going to be successful. So that's the word, guys. It's gotten really dark out here since I started this word. And this was kind of an impromptu word because I didn't plan on jumping on tonight. But I know that this is for somebody. So that's the word, y'all. Coaching is open. The link is in the about section of my YouTube profile. I also posted it in the community tab yesterday. Coaching is open until God pulls me away or I take another break, but it's open for now. So if God has led you to do a session, go ahead and book your session. Please make sure you read the terms and conditions thoroughly, because I have updated a lot of things just to make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward during this coaching session, and so that you get, you know, the best of me and vice versa, right? So make sure you read the terms and conditions. But yeah, that's the word, guys. I love you, and I pray that you have a blessed night, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.